Three, two, one. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew. This is The Ugly Review for April 12th, 2024. It is 6:08 a.m. Central Standard Time. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful week. I'm having a pretty good week. It's Friday morning. It's a dreary, rainy, blustery day outside. It's a great day to do some streaming. I might be able to do a little extra this morning because it's rainy and I might have to wait to walk the dogs. So it may go a little longer than our standard weekly 90-minute stream. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good to see you. How are you? I am swell. Let's jump right into it. There's plenty to talk about. I was thinking about this before we got on stream. The news cycle has gone, we are not even in a 24-hour news cycle anymore. We are in a 60-second news cycle. For sure, we are in a 60-second news cycle. And there's just so much to always talk about, and there's so much to keep up with. And we've got plenty to talk about. So I hope you're ready, because here we go. Okay, don't know why that happened. Hold on. Oh my God. Okay. Let's start with, I don't know if this is probably good news, but ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard, the juice is loose from this mortal coil. That's right. The one, the only OJ Orenthal James Simpson. Orenthal James Simpson has passed away at, I didn't even have an article pulled up for him. OJ Simpson. I've just had some memes and tweets pulled up. Let's just check there. OJ Simpson died the comfortable death in old age that Nicole Brown should have had. Oh my. Okay, so yeah, OJ Simpson murdered his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her lover, Ron Morgan, Ron something or other. He got found not guilty, right? And if you don't know, for all you youngsters out there who may not have known what happened with O.J. Simpson, the O.J. Simpson was a running back in the National Football League for the Buffalo Bills, and he was great. He's a Hall of Famer. He was fantastic, an unbelievable athlete. Let's see. And one year, there it is. 1 year, 94, June 17th, 94, the NBA Finals are going on, and the NBA Finals get interrupted so the whole world can watch O.J. Simpson and Kato Kalin driving this white Ford Bronco speeding down the interstate, being chased by police officers. And this goes on for, I don't know, I can't remember how long. Maybe a couple hours. And then he has a whole big murder trial and everything that lasts a few months. And he gets found not guilty. And every single person in the world is like, oh, okay, he fucking did it. He got off because, they asked him to put the gloves on and the gloves didn't fit and everything. But O.J. Simpson, dead at the age of 76. He died after a battle with cancer. And let me see if I can find one thing real quick, because there was a O.J. Simpson juror. Let me see if this is her right here. 33 seconds. Let's watch this. This is a juror from the O.J. Simpson trial. Uh-huh. So there you go. They said that, yeah, basically the O.J. Simpson, we let him off the hook as payback for Rodney King. And if you don't know, Rodney King was a black man in 1991, 1992. He was on a chase, or he got pulled over by the LA County police, and he got the shit kicked out of him, but, because he wasn't obeying orders and anything. And it was a whole hullabaloo, and it turned into the LA riots. And was that 91? Or was it 89? I don't remember, but the Rodney King riots happened. So, yeah, they let him off the hook because he was black, and they saw it as payback for Rodney King. But whatever, that's over. He's dead. And so every single person in the world knew he was guilty. He did that shit. But if you want to see how crazy of a motherfucker OJ Simpson really was. Watch it again. One more time. Oh my God. Oh, burn in hell, you piece of shit. Burn in hell. The juice is loose from this mortal coil. Dead. 76. So there's that. I got a new mic arm on the way, by the way, which is good because I think this one is a piece of shit. It gets in the way. I had different plans for it before. I thought it was going to come this way, and maybe I could have done that. Whatever, I got one on the way. New one on the way. So yeah. Sure, let's watch it again. Why not? I bet. Okay. All right. Anyway, thanks for that. Wow. Fucking wow. Okay, so let's move on. Let me get something to drink. Excuse me. Sorry. I have to drink my caffeinated beverage. Yeah, as the tweet says, rest in piss, OJ Simpson. You were a crazy motherfucker. Oh, the internet. Oh, the internet. So, moving on to our top story, our headline story. I wanted to talk about this the other day, and I didn't because I'm stupid, and I just didn't get to it. But the report comes out that younger generations are beginning to embrace retro games over AAA games. And I actually thought I had another article about this. So, young generations choosing old games over AAA. I thought I had another one, but there's one. Okay. Let's just go back to the original article. So this is The Guardian, and this actually came out on, excuse me, April 2nd of 2024. Retro video games and aesthetics are having a moment, but it's not just Gen X and older millennials reliving their heyday. Younger millennials and Gen Z are getting in on the nostalgia too. Let me adjust the... Let me see. I just want to make sure if you guys want to read it, I just want to make sure it's big enough so you can read it. There we go. The bouncy MIDI medley of Nintendo Wii's theme descends into a drill beat. A Game Boy Color opens up into a lip gloss case. A$AP Rocky goes full Minecraft in a pixelated hoodie, and a panting man bobs up and down with his arm stuck in a bush. This is not a glitch. Both online and in real life, pop culture is embracing the sounds, visuals, and experience of retro gaming. On TikTok, retro gaming videos have amassed over 6 billion views. On YouTube, uploads have increased 1,000-fold. Spotify users are creating 50% more retro gaming themed playlists than they were at this time last year, and live streamers are cashing in on repetitive catchphrases and mechanical movements of NPCs, non-player characters. So why, in this age of hyper-realistic graphics and ever-expanding technological possibility, are younger generations captivated by an era of technological limitation? Well, maybe it's because the old games focused on gameplay, actually focused on being a good game with good characters and good stories, but let's find out. For Kingsley Ellis, a millennial raised on the bleeps and bloops of Sega Mega Drives and N64 cartridges, oh yes, The allure of retro gaming is simple. It's all about the nostalgia, says Ellis, whose TikTok account, Unpacked, has 1.5 million followers. He says his interest lies mostly in old gaming hardware. His most watched videos revisit the gloriously bizarre world of retro peripherals. Those often ridiculous attachments designed to enhance or over-engineer the gaming experience, such as screen magnifiers, fold-out speakers clipped onto consoles. Oh, God, they had them all. Remember, they had one called a Virtual Boy, and it was actually a gaming system. I think it wasn't a peripheral. It was actually a system made by Nintendo, and it was like this set of VR goggles, right? It almost looked like the VR goggles that you see now from Apple and Facebook and shit that look retarded. And they were on a tripod, and you would set them on a table, and you'd put your head into it, and you'd have a remote. And it was all in like red and black, different shades of red and black. I didn't have one. I played it a couple of times, but it had different, like the layers of the graphics were different shades and everything, so it looked a bit more 3D. It didn't take off really at all. I knew one guy who had one, but whatever. There's a lot of shit like that going around. Some of the attachments I wasn't even aware of as a child blow my mind, he says. For example, the Pedicidate snorkel, which allows pediatric dentists to deliver doses of nitrous oxide to their patients while they played games. What? Or the Game Boy-controlled sewing machine. I knew that existed. Ellis's content offers a winning combination of innovation, discovery, novelty, and nostalgia. I think the current wave of tech will almost be disregarded in the future, he says. I don't feel the nostalgic properties are there. The sentiment seems to resonate with a growing segment of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, too. The popularity of channels such as Ellis's reflect a broader fascination with retro tech that's evident in the rise of reaction videos, the resurgence of Web 1.0 era fruitager and aero aesthetics, think futuristic optimism, glossy buttons, gradients, and Windows XP screensavers, a filter transforming people into PS2 characters, and the increasing adoption of Y2K-era devices by young consumers. Last year, Urban Outfitters sold out of stock of refurbished iPad minis, and a 20-year-old Olympus digital camera was dubbed the hottest Gen Z gadget, really. Among the ubiquity and instant gratification of tech today, Ellis suggests that the charming limitations of retro devices foster a hack and discover mentality that leads to a longer-term satisfaction. Yeah, and it's usually, what goes around comes around. What was old will once again be new, and vice versa. And it's just that everything goes in cycles. Old fashion comes back around. Old technology becomes, niche and becomes popular again. It's just the classic retro vibe. So yeah, it happens with just about everything. I mean, just fashion, right? Before all this was happening, all of the 80s fashion really started to come back. Look at Stranger Things, right? People loved Stranger Things. Let's see. Thanks to the mimetic nature of the modern internet, this thrill of discovery extends beyond gameplay as video game soundtracks and graphics increasingly find life in new context. Gaming has long been a source of inspiration for artists. Think Jay-Z's Golden Axe sample on Money Cash Hose, Lil B's use of Masashi Hamauzu's Final Fantasy score, and DEE's Street Fighter rhythm. On the independent online radio platform NTS, which boasts a dedicated audience of millions, video game music is part of regular programming. NTS's monthly Otaku show dives into specific games or themes, from iconic franchises such as The Legend of Zelda to the history of video game sampling in rap. Okay, so they're going into more of the rapping and everything like that. Actors and dancers. Okay, so they're going into all of like the young artists who are starting to embrace it and everything. But for Gabby, 27, known on TikTok as Babes Gabes, and a growing community of so-called cozy gamers, the appeal of older games lies not in their modern interpretations, but the comfort and simplicity of the past. Let's see. Though cozy gaming can encompass recent titles too, it's like comfort food, different for everyone. The crossover is common. I game for nostalgia, she says. It eases my mind and lets me escape into a different world. It's an excellent stress and anxiety reliever. A 2022 study revealed that half of Gen Z said gaming improves their mental health. So, and it goes on here. In a world of relentless technological advances and increasing AI anxiety, Rivera wonders whether Gen Z's affinity for retro gaming is connected to its stability. It's provided a constant. It's not going to morph into something else tomorrow, she says. Given the continually disrupted times that this generation has grown up in, it's not hard to see why younger players might find something comforting and unthreatening in pixelated graphics, the janky character animations of an early Grand Theft Auto, or ever predictable NPC sound bites. And as technology fixates on the latest and greatest, retro gaming offers a refreshing break, perhaps a comforting idealization of simpler times. But more than that, the games of the 80s and 90s are the foundation on which the gaming giants of today were built. The music, the graphics, the dialogue, the clothes. It's a whole experience, says Gabby. There's a deeper cultural significance. It's a piece of history. Okay, so what they didn't go into, they gave some reasons there that make sense as to why people would be going back to retro gaming, but they didn't go into, the SBI, the Sweet Baby Inc., the wokeism of gaming and everything like that. Because it's there. And a lot of people are being driven away by the Alyssa Mercantes of the world. And this whole big thing we've got going on now, where beauty in all of entertainment in the entire world is under attack. And here's a perfect example of it. Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante is hot and bothered over Star Wars Outlaws' Manly K-Vess in hate campaign against gamers. This is Fandom Pulse. Now, you see this woman right here? You see this woman right here? This woman is the voice actress model for this character. They took this woman and they turned her into this. Why? This could be another reason why people are going away from modern games. Just a thought. People are sick and tired of it. Like, when you see this, the normal person's reaction is to go, why the fuck would you do this? Just because you're ugly, Alyssa Mercante, and you need someone ugly to relate to so you can see yourself in gaming, that doesn't mean everyone else wants to see ugly people. But let's get into this. Jesus Christ. Gushing over the new ugly, androgynous-looking girl boss, Star Wars Outlaws protagonist K-Vess, Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante wrote, "But K-Vess is the female version of many Star Wars characters. A rogue, a rebel, a scoundrel, and a rapscallion. She could easily step into Han Solo or Cassian Andor's boots." Tell me you know nothing about Star Wars without telling me you know nothing about Star Wars. She's got an adorable companion creature, just like Jedi Survivor's Cal Kestis, and she's got that smirky sass that makes so many other Star Wars scumbags so lovable. On paper, she's the perfect lead for an open-world game about outlaws. It's just the fact that she's a she that's the problem. What is it with this whole thing where they've got to have this smirky, like, they all have to have this smirk on their face, or the Alyssa Mercantes of the world, they always got to do the... they got to stick their tongue out and give you, like, crazy demon eyes. And it's this whole thing where they know that they're so devoid of actual character and talent and knowledge and intelligence and anything that anyone else might actually find interesting. They know they're so devoid of all of that that they have to put this outward, oh, watch, I'll be so quirky, I'll be so cute. They'll think I'm just so different and neat. It'll be great, and people will like me and love me. Oh, my God, she must be sexy and attractive because look at her, she's being quirky. She's giving a little sassy smirk. Look at her go. That's what they think. They're so insecure on the inside that they have to put out this big show on the outside, right? It's why a lot of comedians do what they do. A lot of comedians are very insecure, so they make up for it by trying to make other people laugh. And you see it a lot with people like Alyssa Mercante, right? They're just not talented. So they don't know how to make people laugh. They can't make people laugh. They're just not talented. But let's continue. Hold on, let me get a drink first. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws K-Vest. Beautiful real-life model, Umberly Gonzalez. She's gorgeous. Kotaku and Alyssa Mercante once again let the mask slip, showing their utter contempt and hatred for gamers in their latest hate campaign article headlined, Star Wars Outlaws Backlash Proves We Need More Women Protagonists. Okay, let's see what evidence they have. Mercante doesn't claim that the commercial success or the popularity of the game among gamers is why we need more women protagonists. No, the reason for making that claim is pure hatred for gamers. She wants backlash. She wants more games that is disliked by gamers. She doesn't want popular or successful games. The metric is that the games must be disliked, and all the better if it advances leftist propaganda. So, what he's saying here, and this was by, I like to credit, so this was by Jack Dunn, written on April 10th. So what he's saying here is if real gamers, hardcore gamers are actually hating the game, that must mean it's woke and it's good, right? That means it's getting under your skin because it's doing something good. It's doing something right. It's upsetting the chuds, right? It's owning the chuds. Yes, they're pissed off. That's a good thing. They don't give a fuck about gaming. They don't care about our entertainment being good. They want to destroy these things. They want to destroy these things and rebuild the world in their image, even though they don't have a plan. Ask them that. Ask them, if you ask them, do you want to tear down capitalism? They'll say, yes. And you say, what are you going to put in its place? And they'll say, socialism. And you say, how does that work? And they'll say, well, everyone chips in and everyone gets fair share. It's like, so how are you going to replace the systems? So when the banks are gone, how are people going to pay everyone? How are people going to trade? Oh, I don't know. People just do it. Socialism. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea how systems actually work. They have no grasp on basic things whatsoever. They can't balance. These are people who can't balance a checkbook and then blame it on capitalism. And that's true. They want to tear down all of this shit because they think they can do better, but they don't have a plan. They have no idea what they're going to do. They have no idea. So when they see us hating the stupid shit they make, they think it's a good thing, right? They're owning the chuds. We're getting under their skin. We're winning. Yay. You're winning so much that you're all getting fired from your jobs. Fucking retards. Not surprisingly, Alyssa Mercante gushes over the ugly-looking androgenized K-Vest, despite K-Vest being modeled on beautiful real-life model Umberly Gonzalez. YouTuber Tebow pointed out the stark contrast between the real-life beauty Umberly Gonzalez and the uglified Star Wars Outlaws protagonist K-Vest in his latest video, aptly drawing a comparison between the androgenized K-Vest and a male character from the Warriors. He points out how Umberly Gonzalez's soft features have been removed from K-Vest and how K-Vest has been given a more pronounced masculine chin. Look at her. She's a fucking nut, dude. God. Though one would have expected Alyssa Mercante to do so, seeing as she advocates for more female protagonists, she never wrote an article praising Stellar Blade's Eve. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the ugly person wants someone ugly that she can identify with because she doesn't want to compete with anyone attractive because she knows she can't compete. That's what this whole fucking thing is about. These people know they can't compete. And they can't stand the idea that they might not be that important and that nobody may want them for anything other than, I don't know, maybe being a housewife or maybe making it. Now, no one's going to pick her up for a housewife. You cannot make a hoe a housewife. And she is a hoe. She's a self-admitted hoe. I don't know if she's used that actual language, but she's a self-admitted sex worker. You can't make a hoe a housewife. Don't have a child with this woman. Do not. Do not. Young bucks out there, if I could give you one bit of advice to carry the rest of your life, never, ever, 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 ever stick your dick in crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not stick your dick in crazy. Please don't. For the love of God. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Don't do it. But look at this. I mean, it looks like, first of all, it looks like bad animation. You went from this beautiful, as the article said, beautiful, soft features to whatever the hell this is. Why? Why? And this is happening everywhere, right? We've seen it with the Fable. We saw it with Mary Jane and Spider-Man 2. We saw it with Horizon Forbidden West. It's happening. Have you seen? Oh God, have you seen? Jesus Christ. That's not it. Where's the new one? That's not it. Where's the new one? Dude, come on. Have you seen the woman who's playing the new Juliet? This person's trying to say that she's a gorgeous human being. Bro. Come on, dude. She got a mustache, man. Come on. Come on, dude. They're trying to turn this into a gay thing without actually turning it into a gay thing because just another androgynous person. Why? Why are they doing this? Because we have to give everyone an opportunity. Because of my diversity. It makes the world better. Prove it. Prove it. We're all equal. No, we're not. No, we're not. Human beings are not equal. And people like this prove it. This person, Alyssa Mercante, is not equal to this person. What's her name? Umberle Gonzalez? Yes, Umberle Gonzalez. This person is not equal to Alyssa Mercante. She is better than Alyssa Mercante. Probably in every conceivable way. They are not equal. And this person, Umberle Gonzalez, is not equal to this person. The woman playing, I guess it's a woman, playing Juliet in the new Romeo and Juliet. No, they're not equal. She is more attractive. That's reality. That's life. That's nature. Nature has never been equal, and it never will be. Maybe here's the difference, right? So there's 343 Industries who made Halo, if I'm not mistaken. 343 Industries and Stellar Blade. So let's see if we can take a look at the difference. See if we can notice the differences between these two developers, these two studios. So Stellar Blade, not a single blue hair, piercing orc. Every female on the team looks female and dresses properly. The game ends up having a beautiful, traditional, attractive female character. Okay, so right off the bat, let me say this. I don't care if you want to dye your hair and get piercings and tattoos and stuff like that, if you're punk rock or this or that or whatever, I don't care. I've got tattoos, right? I don't care. Now, I will say on women, a lot of these tattoos that women are getting these days are really bad, especially these big fat thigh tattoos that you ladies are getting. It's fucking hideous. But let's take a look, right? Let's see if we can see a difference between the studios. So there's Stellar Blade. There's a Stellar Blade studio. And the rain really picked up outside. And you can see there's men and women. It looks like it's pretty 50-50 with the men and the women, right? Nice, good-sized studio, and everyone seems like they're having a good time. And yeah, it looks pretty, they just look like people, men and women, right? It looks pretty 50-50, and maybe a little more men. There's a lot of women in there. Maybe a few more men. But let's go down to 343 Industries. I'm pretty sure it's all women. It's all women. And a Dylan Mulvaney wannabe, but it's all women, okay? So, and of course, this is a modern developer in the West, a modern Western all-female developer versus just a traditional Eastern, pretty much 50-50 developer, right? That's even right there. And what did they do? They just created a traditionally beautiful woman. What did 343 Studios do? They destroyed a franchise. Good job. I'm just saying, there it is. There's that. I don't know what other evidence you need. There it is. That's why you get things like Tomb Raider getting fucked up. Because now Tomb Raider is done. So here's Melanie Mack. Melanie Mack, she's been a creator for a while now. I'm sure you all know who Melanie Mack is. You at least know of her. She's a huge Tomb Raider fan. Huge Tomb Raider fan. So we'll get into it. I'll just read hers, and then we'll just go right into the article, and we'll just go for it. Us classic fans. This is Melanie Mack, and this was on April 9th. Us classic fans have seen the writing on the wall all along. The devs have outright been telling us this for years, and some people still want to be delulu about it. Delusional. Crystal Dynamics' Lara Croft isn't really Lara Croft. She's some woke truth seeker, not a Tomb Raider. Oh, let's see what this says. Raiding and colonialism. So this is some comment. It looks like, well, let's see. What then is raiding, and how does it mirror colonial practices? Ah, yes, the colonizer. Must call them a colonizer. Raiding, as depicted in the original Tomb Raider games and stories, involves going to ancient tombs and historical sites of different civilizations and acquiring artifacts. It operates on the assumption of finders keepers that grants raiders with the means and drive to claim ownership of artifacts, regardless of whether they have any historical or cultural claim to the treasure. You know, I like how all of these wokies believe themselves to be so benevolent and good and humble and true and pure that if they found some ancient treasure, they would just give it right back to whatever tribe lived there 3,000 years ago. Like if they found $100 million worth of buried treasure, they say, "Oh, I have to find such and such's great grandfather and give them their treasure back." Yeah, fucking right. Or you could just leave all the treasure to be found and sold by other treasure hunters and poachers, or it could just be destroyed by war, lost to the sands of time. You could have, some ancient tribes kill each other over it. That's fine. I mean, if that's what, hey, and they would probably want that too, and maybe that's what it should do. Maybe it should just stay there, and maybe it should just drive a wedge between two ancient tribes and have them continue to kill each other for thousands of more years. I don't know. Anyway. Later games released in the franchise have started the work of addressing this by having Lara Croft acknowledge her past mistakes and try to understand and show respect for the cultures and communities she comes into contact with. She has also worked to reform raider culture and raise the awareness of her peers. Sorry, I got an itch on my nose real bad. Sorry. Lara no longer decorates her mantle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lara no longer decorates her mantle with mythic artifacts. As a raider, she prioritizes seeking out the truth. Much of this game is inspired by her humanity, struggle with heroism, and her tenacity. We believe that all three aspects are an important component in creating a game that celebrates history and culture while acknowledging that the respect and work required to live in a world wounded by colonialism. I would make the argument that the world overall was aided and assisted and bettered by colonialism. That's a different can of worms, though. We can go into that later, I suppose. I mean, seriously, I'm not joking. In this game, we seek to continue in that work alongside Crystal Dynamics by creating a sandbox for you to tell stories that address colonialist themes in play and create your own stories of respect and support for the people and cultures your seekers encounter. So I want to go back to something real quick. As a raider, she prioritizes seeking out the truth. Much of this game is inspired by her humanity's struggle with heroism and her tenacity. We believe that all three aspects are important component in creating a game that celebrates... Okay, components in creating a game. Gameplay, story, user interface, graphics, making a beautiful character that doesn't look like a Dylan Mulvaney. So there's that, and then there's this, this was on April 9th as well. British adventurer Lara Croft will transition from being a raider of tombs to a seeker of truth, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So raiding as the, okay, this is just what we read. Okay, that was it. So they have come for Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. They're coming for the beauty. They are coming for the good. They are coming for everything pure, for everything you love. Don't let them take it. And you know how you... Do you know how you beat these freaks and these weirdos? You just tell the truth. You just look them in the eye and you say, fuck off. And you tell the truth. That's it. That's it. They can't, they want to suppress free speech because they cannot compete with the truth. So what do you do to defeat them? You stand up, you look them in the eye, and you tell the truth. And don't you ever back down. That's what they're counting on. It's the only way they win. That's it. And they're going to keep coming, right? The fight now, the fight that we're going to have moving forward is one of, because they're going to keep doing this over and over again. And the struggle that we are really going to encounter is trying to keep our head up and continue to tell the truth and continue to be honest and work hard day after day after day after day, when it feels like the entire world may be against you sometimes, when it feels like all of the media and all of the politicians, when it feels like maybe even your neighbors, when it feels like everyone at the school or whatever it is, everyone online, whatever, when it feels like people are all against you, right? And the world has completely lost its mind and there's nowhere else to turn. The struggle, the fight, is going to be keeping your head up and moving forward. They are counting on us to give up. We cannot give up. We have to be honest. We have to work hard, keep our head up, work together. Be in your community, right? Be a part of your community. It doesn't mean, I think when people hear stuff like that, I'm on a little rant. I'll shut up in a second. I think when people hear that, they get overwhelmed because they start placing a bunch of expectations on themselves. They think, well, if I'm going to be involved with my community, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. It's like, no, you don't. Just, introduce yourself to your neighbor and say, hey, if you ever need any help, just knock on my door. That's it. That's all you got to do, right? And then maybe, every once in a while, I don't know, invite them over for a barbecue or something like that, just so you guys are still on the same page, you at least know each other on a first name basis and whatnot. It doesn't have to, you don't have to spend all day with each other. You don't need to have book clubs with each other. Nothing like that. Don't do that. I mean, you can. I'm not saying you don't have to, but you know what I mean. It can be that simple. That's what they don't want, right? It can also be something as simple as just start a family. Don't wait, just start the family. They want all of these things to be destroyed. Look at this. Every single aspect of this character design is dog shit. This is walking neon sign flashing the words woke agenda in perpetuity. God, there has never been a bigger red flag. Tomb Raider is a dead franchise. My condolences, Melanie Matt. Yeah, this is retarded. It's gone. It's dead now. Whatever. I think Critical Drinker's a big fan of Tomb Raider as well. He probably hates this crap. God bless it. Anyway, and speaking of games getting shit on, look at this. God, you fucking pussies. Scrabble makes historic change to game more inclusive, to make game more inclusive for Gen Z. I'm so pissed off about this I can't even talk. Or I'm just retarded. This is on The Hook News. I don't know anything about this website. I found this website. It's the Hook News. There you go. Right there. This was April 10th, 2024 by Lauren Dryberg. Jesus Christ. I'm opening the window. Hold on. Nice rainy, cool day. I love it so. I wish I didn't have to work my 9 to 5. I'd stream all day. I really would. I love this weather. It's just I can just sit and look out the window and chat about the bullshit happening in the world. It's great. Christopher Walken. It's great. Scrabble makes historic change to make game more inclusive for Gen Z, you pussies. This marks a significant shift. In a departure from its traditional format after 75 years, Mattel is introducing a groundbreaking update to the beloved board game Scrabble, heralding a no more scoring gameplay option. Everybody gets a trophy and orange slices. Yay! Fuck. The innovative release presents a dual-sided version of the iconic game. One side features the original gameplay, catering to enthusiasts of the time-honored tradition. Hold on a second. Of the time-honored traditional version, while the other side offers a less competitive variant designed to resonate with Gen Z gamers. So, what's the point of a game? Isn't it to win? Isn't that the whole idea basis behind a game? If you're not going to keep score, it seems like it's just going to be homework. Or you might as well just play by yourself. Why the fuck do you need to... Hold on a second. Doesn't it just turn into Sudoku or something? Or like... fuck. Yeah, it's just like turns into a crossword puzzle. By yourself. The flip side, dubbed Scrabble Together, you play games together. You see how they use the language? They're gonna call the new one Scrabble Together to make you think that the original scoring version did not bring you together. They say, remember your Uncle Jerry? Remember how pissed he got when you guys were all playing Scrabble that one Christmas break, and he flipped the table and he jumped out the second-story window and the cops got called? Remember that? Well, that's Jerry's fucking problem. Okay? He needs to knock off the PCP. The flip side, dubbed Scrabble Together, introduces helper cards. God. Introduces... So, an easy mode. Gen Z, you need to stop begging for an easy mode. And maybe it's not you guys all doing it. It's probably not the majority of you. It's probably just the noisy people in the media, like the so-called gaming journalists, heavy air quotes, who are asking, oh, there should be an easy mode. This needs to be more accessible. You're just retarded. Get good. Where was I? The flip side, dubbed Scrabble Together, introduces helper cards, a simplified scoring system. I thought scoring was gone. Expedited gameplay, and the option for team play. Giles Brandreth, co-host of the language podcast Something Rhymes with Purple, Schlurple, explained to BBC Radio 4 today that younger players, particularly Gen Z, expressed a preference for a less competitive environment, seeking a game focused on enjoying language, words, and camaraderie. I don't know, just open a dictionary and just talk about the dictionary. Scrabble Together is tailored for individuals who may find the classic game daunting or believe that word games aren't their forte. Then maybe you shouldn't fucking play Scrabble. Or you should just maybe read the dictionary. I don't know. Ray Adler, vice president of global games for Mattel, emphasized the company's commitment to ensuring inclusivity. There it is. It's all about DEI. That's it. Stating Scrabble Together mode is an ideal option for those who may feel intimidated by the traditional version. While the introduction of Scrabble Together has garnered praise for its innovative approach, some critics have disparagingly labeled it Scrabble for snowflakes and woke Scrabble. Yes, so I guarantee this DEI department, right, is going to be filled with all of these weak-minded, emotional midgets who have to get everything inclusive, and they cannot be challenged whatsoever. This whole microaggression thing, right? Anytime they are questioned or challenged or feel threatened in any way, shape, or form. Sorry, I was looking out the window there. Any way, shape, or form. They call it a microaggression because they want their life to be incredibly easy because they are mental and emotional midgets. They cannot be challenged, right? They not only can they not be challenged, but when it's all said and done, they have to be rewarded for it, even though they didn't do anything. They're children. They are children. They will never grow. They will never build genuine character or genuine skills because you build those things by being challenged in everyday life, and they will not allow themselves to be challenged. Life is hard. Life is a struggle. You get better at life by overcoming struggle. Life is a journey. It is a lesson every single day, sometimes every single moment. It is a lesson through struggle and through pain and through overcoming those things. And if you don't have any if you don't have any struggle in your life, then how do you learn? How do you grow? What is your challenge? What's your journey? And then we get back to, well, look at the modern writing in Hollywood and gaming and everything. In modern Hollywood, in the scripts and everything, there's no, people aren't connecting because there's no personal journey for any of the characters because the writers have not had a genuine personal journey themselves. Not one that relates to your average person. No. They are nothing like you or I, you or me. And they believe themselves to be far superior. Does this feel like progress? Does this feel like they're becoming superior? In their mind, yes. But just on the outside looking in, from a bird's eye view, from a big meta view, would you look at any of these people? Like if you didn't even know them, you're studying some far off distant civilization and you saw this and you say, well, they're actually trying to make things easier on themselves. They're trying to reduce, like you would not think these people are getting better. You would not think these people are becoming superior or progressing. So what's different? In addition to the dual-sided board, helper cards provide assistance, prompts, and clues tailored to the player's preferred challenge level. Scoring becomes obsolete in the new version, replaced by the completion of goal cards, each presenting challenges such as playing specific words or achieving certain board placements. The first player to complete 20 challenges wins, while exhausting all helper cards without fulfilling a challenge leads to defeat. Okay, so that's just, hold on a second. It's just a different game. There's still going to be winners and losers. The implementation of these new rules and scoring methods aims to facilitate shorter games and align with the preference for collaborative, goal-oriented gameplay observed among younger players. Yeah, but at first you made it sound like the whole point was to have no scoring so that it would be inclusive so stupid people wouldn't have their feelings hurt. And now you're saying, well, no, if they complete 20 challenges, they win. So you could still be playing with a stupid person and you complete your 20 challenges like before they even complete one. So we still know who the stupid person is. Okay, so I guess that's not all bad. But I see what they're trying to do, right? They want to take away points and everything to make you think like, oh, it's just fine. You're gonna, but no, there's still a winner and a loser in this. Although Scrabble Together is set to launch in Europe, it won't be available in the U.S. due to licensing constraints. Hasbro, the producer of Scrabble in the U.S. and Canada, has not yet commented on the matter. Scrabble, a hallmark of board gaming since 1938, has adapted to evolving language usage by continually updating its dictionary. How long until it's just LOL and Lamau and Ruffle and fuck? I wouldn't surprise me if it's already there. Just emojis. God damn it. The introduction of Scrabble Together precedes National Scrabble Day on April 13th. That's tomorrow, marking another milestone in the game's rich history. Reflecting on the game's evolution, Brandreth remarked, "We played the original game, but change is inevitable." You know what change should be inevitable? The change in the individual, the change in yourself. You should want to challenge yourself so that you change for the better, right? This is a way of looking at the game and saying, you're not good, right? You're stupid. You're not good at the game. So you're like, well, we should change the rules. Well, no, everybody else likes the rules, but the rules aren't good for me. Well, maybe you're bad at the game. No, it's the rules. It's the game. We have to change the game. You see? Now, 99.999% of the population has to change the way they live their life to appease 0.001%. How is that equal? It's not. It's not. They want to be worshipped. They want to be gods. I don't know else how to describe it. God damn it. So stupid and weak. All right. I need something to cheer me up. What's next? I think I put something next to cheer me up. Oh, I did. Okay. So, I don't have any big updates on the Diddy situation other than so look at this tweet from 50 Cent, or this comment from 50 Cent. Here's 50 Cent, right? Hold on. God damn it. 50 Cent said P. Diddy is riding a bicycle with no seat. So here's a picture of Sean Diddy Combs riding a bicycle. And 50 Cent just says, you know, there ain't no seat on that bike, right? just dropping a grenade and walking away. So fucking funny. Because it's like, if you showed 50 Cent this picture of Diddy riding a bike, he'd look at you like, you know there ain't no seat on that bike, right? You know he likes it in the butt, right? It's just such a, and you know he said it in such a matter-of-fact way. Like, oh, you know there ain't no seat on that bike. Because he gay. It's just so funny. He just won't stop. 50 Cent just will not stop about it. Oh, my God. All right. So moving on to some more entertainment, to Hollywood news. Now, I'm not the one getting political about this, so bear with me, okay? I'm not the one getting political about this. It's Alan Ritchson who's getting political about this, and I bring it up because I would really hope that he wouldn't do this, but here he is. He's doing it. This is Bounding into Comics. This was April 11th, 24, by Spencer Bakuli. Reacher star Alan Ritchson baffled at religious support for Donald Trump. He's a rapist and a con man, and yet the entire Christian church seems to treat him like he's their poster child. All right, Alan. Boy, you really shouldn't be... Okay, let's just get into it. In lobbing an admitted grenade into the current American political discourse, Reacher star Alan Ritchson has revealed that not only does he believe that Donald Trump is a rapist and a con man, but also that he finds the Christian right support of the politician to be downright unreal. Ritchson, who readers may also recognize as having portrayed Smallville's incarnation of Aquaman and Titan's take on Hank Hawk Hall, offered his opinion on the former U.S. president during a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter's Chris Gardner. Amidst a lengthy conversation ranging from his time filming the live-action adaptation of Lee Child's Jack Reacher novels and his upcoming role in Guy Ritchie's The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, that does look good too. I will be seeing that. Ritchson was eventually asked by Gardner if he could elaborate on his own Christian faith, to which the actor asserted, "I'm a Christian quite simply because of what Jesus calls us to do, love other people until death. Until their death or yours. It doesn't mean we're all to be hung on a cross, but how can I suffer for you?" And okay, that is a beautiful thing. Let's see. Further elaborating on his religious beliefs, Ritchson opined that Christians today have become the most vitriolic tribe. It's so antithetical to what Jesus was calling us to be and do. Okay, to this end, here we go. The actor then took aim at the ever-rising level of support for the former U.S. president has consistently held and continues to hold among Christians, lamenting, "Trump is a rapist and a con man, and yet the entire Christian church seems to treat him like he's their poster child, and it's unreal. I don't understand it." Okay. So I bring this up because why the fuck would you do this? Why? There's seriously no reason for you to be saying this. You are only going to get negative backlash because of this. And I know, and maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't care whatsoever. I don't know. He seems like he could either laugh about it or he seems like he can be, I don't know, kind of a dick about it. Either way. But why would you do this? Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you should believe in this or that or the other or anything. I try to be as common sense and as logical as I possibly can be. I just don't have any idea why you would do this. You're only going to get hate for it. You're only going to get backlash for it. There's no reason. There's quite literally no reason to do this. I mean, have your opinion, sure. But social media has really given us a glimpse into the thoughts and opinions and intelligent level, the IQ levels of people in Hollywood. I mean, it's very interesting, too, that he would say this, considering that, you know, just the other day, The Rock came out, and he made a comment going the complete opposite way, saying, "Oh, I'm not supporting Joe Biden." So, I don't know. It's weird. And maybe there's a part of me that wants to go all conspiracy theory and think that they're just bringing this up, that he's bringing it up and Alan Ritchson is bringing it up so that people will talk more about Hollywood than the actual politicians. Because the media doesn't actually want you talking that much about politicians or the politics of things, because then you might actually discover some truth. You might go, wait a minute, maybe I should research that. And they don't want you researching stuff, right? They want you talking about The Rock and blah, blah, blah. Kind of doing what I'm doing here a little bit. I don't like talking about politics so much anymore just because it's so fucking depressing. Okay. So I don't know. I just don't think this was a very good idea. But that's just me. Slightly deviating from the topic of religious political theory, Ritchson was then pressed as to his thoughts on the Catholic Church, particularly given that his mother still remains a member of the organization. It's worth saying that the atrocities that are happening in the church that are being actively covered up, even to this day with people not being held accountable, is repulsive, said the actor, his demeanor while answering reportedly making it clear that he held no goodwill towards the church. "I can't for 1 second support the Catholic Church while there are still cardinals, bishops, and priests being passed around with known pedophilic tendencies." Well, notably, this is not the first time Ritchson has thrown his hat into the ring of American politics. In November of 22, the actor announced that he would be deleting his personal Twitter account in protest of what he believed was Elon Musk's active allowance of midterm election manipulation on the platform. I mean, we get to see his IQ level, don't we? Explaining his decision in a video posted to his Instagram account, Richson asserted there was a king who loved wine and generously wanted to lavish upon the good citizens of his kingdom his love of wine, and so he invited all the villagers far and wide from the countryside to his castle for a Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Get off it. And so the banquet hall was okay, that's enough. This is who Elon Musk is as a free speech absolutist. Hold on, let me read this now because now he's talking about free speech. And so the banquet hall was filled on feast day with friends and strangers alike, Richson continued, everybody eagerly awaiting to taste the king's prized wine. As the king asked the good citizens to have a seat around the banquet hall table, he began to pour wine, but he poisoned a few glasses along the way. Some of the citizenry noticed this and asked the king why he was poisoning the cups. And he said, this is essential that everybody enjoy the wine as is, whether it's poison or not. And of course, as you can imagine, this kingdom lost a few citizens that day. This is who Elon Musk is as a free speech absolutist. He then revealed of the reason behind his telling of the above story. Knowing that some of the cups are going to be poisoned and insisting that we all partake in this feast together anyway will not bode well for all us. There must be some intolerance for the poison cups among us. Oh, okay, so he doesn't want free speech. I see. So this guy doesn't like free speech. So he's a fucking retard. So rather than listen to someone else's point of view and saying, I disagree, I don't want to talk to you anymore, go away, he would rather just have people silenced. I was like, well, I don't have to drink from your cup, but just knowing your cup exists offends me. So I think your cup should be emptied and you should be thrown in jail. Is that not what he is saying? We cannot be tolerant of everything. That's the tolerance paradox. It requires us to be intolerant of the intolerant. So intolerant of you? You're sounding quite intolerant. Now, I'm all for intolerance when it comes to pedophiles and rapists and animal abusers, stuff like that, right? I'm all for that. But free speech is free speech, my man. And if you're too weak-minded to deal with that, that's your fucking problem. As a free speech absolutist, Elon Musk believes that all speech, whether it's hate speech or misinformation, something that he has a penchant for, should proliferate his site. Okay, so he just goes. So he's a retarded progressive, it sounds like. We've seen how cancerous and detrimental. Elon has crippled the midterm. Good Lord, dude. You are an actor, aren't you? You are an actor. That was all those Elon comments were back in 2022, though. I knew he had said something. I couldn't remember what, though. But, there you go. Okay. Just to remind you that... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to open that. Sorry. My video editing software. Just to remind you how fucking stupid they are. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna be able to go a little longer today. We'll be able to go a little longer, but I'm gonna take a quick restroom break and then come back, and then we're gonna jump into some Disney news, the Disney news of the day. I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. Okay. Oh, I love it. It's so cold and rainy out. I love it. Sounded kind of gay, didn't it? Oh, it's so cold and rainy out. I just love it. I open up the windows and I read a good book. It actually sounds quite nice. It sounds quite lovely, actually. I would much rather do that than go to my 9 to 5. Sorry, you had to sit here and stare at Dwayne The Rock Johnson's bald fat head. Anyway, moving on. So Disney, this is the Disney news of the day, and Disney is cracking down on people who are abusing their disability program. So let's just get right into it, because there are people who are having, do the kids call it, when people are freaking out on Twitter, don't the kids say, boy, you're having a real one? I think that's what the kids say. I think. I'll say that. And we'll see what happens. So Disney threatens lifetime ban if people misuse the disability program amid crackdown. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm moving my screen all over the place real quick, but or all the time anyway. The Disney resorts in California and Florida are cracking down on widespread misuse of its disability program, even going as far as to threaten lifetime bans from their parks. Oh, bye. Disney unveiled new changes to its Disability Access Services program this week, which helps guests and visitors who have neurodivergent disorders, such as autism. An increase in the use of the program has now led to longer attraction queues and backed-up Genie Plus lanes. Use of Disney's Disability Access Services has tripled in the past 5 years, with some clearly abusing the system. Videos of a Disneyland line hack have gone viral, which show viewers how to avoid long wait times by using the Disability Access Service program. Okay, so it's not surprising that this has been abused. And when they say neurodivergent, neurodivergent basically means, oh my God, I have an anxiety disorder. Oh my God, I'm stressed out. Oh my God, I went to the doctor and they gave me a prescription to Xanax, so now I can do whatever I want because I'm mentally challenged. I'm sorry, I'm neurodivergent and I get special treatment now. So you have to do everything for me. You have to do what I say. That's what it is. Everyone thinks they're special. Everyone, it's the struggle bus Olympics, right? It's the disabled Olympics. Like, people are fighting to convince you of how messed up they are, so you give them special treatment because it makes their life easier, because nobody wants to work for anything. And we kind of covered this a little earlier. I'm not surprised whatsoever. And yeah, the past 5 years has exacerbated the mental health problem in the Western world, in America specifically, particularly, has exacerbated the mental health issue. And it's just, God, I'm glad Disney is doing this. I'm very glad Disney is doing this. And just say, you know what? Get in line, fatty. In response to the surge in allegations that people are using the program fraudulently, Disney said those who lie about needing the program would be permanently barred from the parks. If it is determined that any of the statements a guest made in the process of obtaining DAS are not true, the guest will be permanently barred from entering the Walt Disney World Resort and the Disneyland Resort, and any previously purchased annual passes, Magic Key passes, tickets, and other park products and services will be forfeited and not refunded, the park said under its FAQ. It is not clear how Disney would catch someone using the program fraudulently, but there are security cameras covering every corner of the park, along with security guards monitoring suspicious activity. In order to use the updated program, guests need to register for the program before their visit to the park. During their enrollment, the users will meet with a specially trained cast member who can determine if DAS is the right fit for their respective disability. Not all disabled guests will need the DAS program. Guests currently enrolled in the DAS program may use it for 60 days or until their visit to the park is complete, but those who visit the parks after May 18th for Disney World and after June 20th for Disneyland will have 120 days to use the program. Disney is dedicated to providing a great experience for all guests, including those with disabilities, which is why we are so committed to delivering a wide range of innovative support services aimed at helping our guests with disabilities have a wonderful time when visiting our theme parks, a spokesperson for Walt Disney Resort said in a statement to USA Today. Okay. The changes are intended to ensure that the program is only used by those who actually need accommodations. The recent increase in users has resulted in the DAS program becoming the most used surface, which negatively affects the wait time and experience of people, of people with real disabilities. It's like all of these men becoming women, right? To calling themselves transgender women. It's actually making it more difficult for women. They're taking up everything that is actually for women, right? When Dylan Mulvaney got a few $100,000 from Nike to be in a Nike ad, was it like last March, April, to support Women's History Month, I think it were. That took a job away from a real woman, right? Why would you not have a real woman there, Nike? Seriously, that's a real woman that could have made, I don't know, $500,000. Maybe she got discovered. Maybe she was great in that commercial. Maybe she started a whole new career in advertising as an actress in commercials. Maybe she goes on to be a millionaire. And maybe she goes on to start a program that helps other women become involved in advertising and in acting, and maybe they go on to become millionaires, and so on and so forth. Did you ever think about that, Nike? Of course you didn't, because you were too busy sucking the BlackRock cock. Jesus. And of course, Twitter just can't take it. They can't fucking stand it. Despite my better judgment, I looked at Disney's new disability accommodations. It's crazy to me I still qualify because of a prescription that makes me overheat and get dehydrated, but not the cerebral palsy that makes me have to move my entire body with only my right side. Without any legitimate stats or data, to be honest, no one can say Disney's disability access service is actually being abused in a significant manner. You just sound ableist. I don't understand why non-disabled people are on here arguing with people who say they have disabilities about who deserves disability accommodation in Disney. You never know what a person is dealing with, and you have to wait in lines whether you do or do not have it. I understand that Disney wants to end abuse, but they also need to understand they are now excluding more Disney guests with disabilities who truly need the service. No, you weren't paying attention. You're not paying attention. This is for the people who genuinely need it. When you see the fatties at the grocery store who are going around in the scooter that was actually meant for the old person who cannot walk, right? They can walk at like 0.0002 miles an hour, so they actually need a scooter. It wasn't meant for the fatty who's lazy. It was meant for the old person who can't walk. So, if you're in the grocery store and the manager of that grocery store should walk up to the fatty and say, "Get off before you break it." That's for the old gentleman. That's for the World War II veteran who can't walk because he took a 7mm bullet to the thigh on D-Day. You are just eating chicken thighs, and you're not allowed to eat in the store, sir. Get off the scooter. God. Oh, look at this. See, and they don't get it. Because they're only thinking, let's read that again. I understand that Disney wants to end abuse, but they also need to understand that they are now excluding more Disney guests with disabilities who truly need the service. I don't understand how you don't understand that they're trying to narrow it down to the people who really, really need the service. I guess I don't get it. Disney fans, if you have concerns about the changes to the disability access service, sharing them here with Twitter is good, and Disney Twitter, oh God. And all but Disney doesn't check X Twitter for guest concerns anymore. Here's their number, oh my. I feel for all the people, that's the last one. I feel for all the people with disabilities, visible and invisible, who have to watch everyone debate the new DAS system at Disney parks. Lots of microaggressions and ableism floating around out here today. Oh my God, seeing people debate your identity is not fun. Seeing people debate your identity is not fun. Coming from someone who is among the crowd that does nothing but focused on identity. All you people do is focused on identity. That's why you're freaking out so much, because you feel like your identity is under attack, and the only thing you have are your disabilities or your gender or the color of your skin or your sexual orientation. Oh, I'm neurodivergent. That's my identity. And you feel that's under attack now. So you're freaking out because you don't have any real character. And you're so insecure that you can't just sit in silence and shrug your shoulders, right? You can't just say, I'll do what I got to do. I will do what I can today to make my life better and work around this system. I am the only one that can control my life. I'm the one who needs to work hard and improve myself. I'm under attack. People are being held accountable for their actions. I'm under attack. Joffrey with a... You spelled it terrible. Joffrey, here's the phone number to make them hear you. Here's the email to make them see you and listen. Make your voice heard. This is probably going to disappoint a lot of fatties, and speaking of fatties, I didn't know this thing existed. I wasn't talking about the person as a thing. I was just talking about this whole thing as a thing. First of all, this was, hey, Dick Masterson, you have to cover plus-size park hoppers for Fat Watch. What is Fat Watch? Do I want to know? I'm going to click on it. Shit. Fat Watch. Okay. And there's just this. I don't see anything else too funny. We'll go back to the original. So there is I guess this is a TikTok channel. I don't have TikTok, so I'm on Twitter. But there's a bunch of plus-sized park hoppers. A bunch of plus-sized park hoppers who go around to theme parks to tell other plus-sized attendees that if they can fit in the rides or not. And look, they've got to break the machine to make it fit. I don't know. Let's watch this. Plus-sized park hoppers, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America. Loud. Oh. TikTok. Hi, Florence. Good morning. Good morning. I forgot what I was going to say. I saw you there and I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. Yeah. These are plus-size park hoppers on TikTok. Or they could just get off their asses and lose the weight. That would be ideal. But that would involve personal accountability. That would mean they would have to look in the mirror and take some responsibility and actually put in some effort. They can't do that. Come on, Florence. They can't do that. What did I get out of that? Let's go. So let me start over. Okay, hold on. Oh, shit. I just thought in airplanes, they must have, they have to distribute the weight as evenly as possible. And I'll tell you a quick story. My dad used to work for a college football team, and they were going on a trip out east to one of the Carolinas. They're playing a game out in one of the Carolinas. And this is a football team. So there's guys on this team that are like 350 pounds, and they had like a 400-pound dude on their team. They're getting on the airplane. 400-pound dude goes all the way to the back, sits in the back row. And the pilot comes back before takeoff and tells the 400-pound guy, you need to sit in the middle of the plane because our weight distribution is off and we could really have some issues. So in an airplane, that's very true. I wonder if they do the same, like the engineers do the same for roller coasters. So if there were enough of these plus-size park hoppers on a roller coaster, like, don't you think it would cause some like engineering concerns, some malfunctions? At some point, it's going to happen. At some point, they're going to exceed whatever limit these engineers envisioned for the Velocicoaster, right? Because on the long enough timeline, more and more Americans are getting fatter and fatter. So eventually, it's just going to be like 90% just super fat people going to the Velocicoaster, and they're not going to be able to fit on the Velocicoaster. What's going to happen? They're going to have to shut it down or something. They won't let people on there. They don't want a lawsuit. But then they'll get a lawsuit for not letting on the fatties. God damn it. You can't fit in that. Oh. Oh. No, 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 no. If you have to force it to work, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Oh my God. So then why are you doing this? I'm asking because this is like a genuine safety concern. Come on. And okay, so I will say this. I will say this. I don't know. This is the first I'm like hearing about this. So I will give somewhat some credit. They weren't complaining in that video, right? They were just kind of pointing out like, no, we don't fit in the seat. They weren't complaining. They weren't saying, oh my God, Universal, you have to change this. You have to blah, blah, blah. Now, I imagine that's right around the corner. I imagine that so many of these people are going to begin. It's like what's happening on airplanes, right? All of these fat people like this they're calling out airlines. They're calling out airlines to make, oh, you got to make the seats bigger. Oh, you got to make the lanes bigger. You've got to make the plane bigger because the people are bigger. Well, the people are the thing that have changed. You've just gotten out of shape. You're just lazy and fat. The whole world doesn't have to change for you because you're lazy. No, that's not how it works. Legit, though, the Velocicoaster does seem cool. I'd ride it. I'm at a good weight to ride it, too. Yeah, I haven't been on a good roller coaster in a while. And I live only a couple hours away from a few Six Flags in Chicago and a Six Flags in St. Louis. And I haven't been on a good roller coaster in a while. My brother-in-law loves roller coasters. Maybe we'll go this summer. And yeah, I'm average. I mean, I'm a little heavier, but I'm just because I'm broad. I'm like 205. But I actually, you know what? And I am uniquely qualified to speak on this topic because I was a little fat kid. My junior year of high school, I topped out at about like 275, and I'm only 5'9" and a quarter. Every little bit helps. So at 5'9" and a quarter and 275, I was a big fat kid. I was a fat kid all the way up through high school. And I got rid of it all by going to college, walking a lot, eating right, and working out. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. There's no reason you can't. I understand that some people have genuine chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances and stuff, and maybe they need medication or something like that. But those instances are a lot more rare than people would have you believe, right? Everyone who's like this wants you to believe that, oh, well, I'm just big boned. Oh, well, I've got a chemical imbalance. Oh, I've got this. Oh, I've got that. Well, I just don't have the time. It's always excuses. Always. I guess in college I did have there was a good bit of free time. But additionally, oh yeah, hold on, there was one more thing I wanted to, that's enough, never mind. So speaking of the fatties, plus-sized women admit they aren't attracted to overweight men. So first of all, the women are plus-sized, right? Almost like it's adding a little bit of fun. The men are overweight. The men are out of shape. The men are the pieces of shit in this situation. As a plus-sized woman, there's this expectation that you should only date overweight men. But what if you aren't attracted to plus-sized men? These women open up about dealing with the stigma of being plus-sized and refusing to settle and date overweight men. From dealing with harsh criticism to feelings of guilt for their preferences, find out what they had to say in these tell-all confessions. And these aren't really tell-all confessions. It's just a list of like Instagram, a Facebook post, or whatever. But we'll go through a couple of them. There are even exercises and workouts that are meant to accommodate people with disabilities. So there's no excuse. Yes, correct. Yes, they make machines, they make entire workout programs. You can get, there's all sorts of trainers who have worked with all sorts of different people at every age, every level, every size, whether it's losing weight or building muscle or improving flexibility, whatever it is, there is a program for everyone. The thing you need to do is just start doing it. Just get off your lazy ass and start doing it. That's it. And no one wants to do that. Because nobody thinks they're the one that has to do it, right? Nobody wants to put in the hard work. They think that everyone else has. It's why you're seeing all these weight loss drugs, these insane weight loss drugs like Ozempic and whatever the other one is, take off. Because people want the magic pill. People want the overnight sensation. They want the magic pill that's going to solve all their problems. Doesn't exist. And the thing is about this Ozempic weight loss drug, I'm pretty sure that once you start it, I think you have to keep taking it for the rest of your life, or it causes some severe health issues. I'm almost positive about that. Don't completely take my word on that, but I think that's true. But yeah, here's these fat women who say that they don't want to date fat men, and these. You know what these women will do. If they see if they see a guy that looks like Chris Hemsworth, and he says, "Oh no, I'm not interested in dating fatties," they'll call him a misogynist. They'll call him a sexist, a bigot, and everything. They will blame him. They will say because it's a patriarchy and all this other bullshit. But let's get into their comments. Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not attracted to bigger guys, even though I'm plus size myself. I find it rare to find a big guy that takes care of his appearance and hygiene the way I do. I can't see how big you are, so I don't know about your appearance and hygiene. But if it's anything like the plus size park hoppers, you don't take care of your appearance. And it's probably difficult to take care of your hygiene. I'm a plus-sized woman, but I'm not attracted to big guys. I get a lot of hate and criticism for it, but I can't help that I like average to muscular types. Okay? And that's fine. If that's your preference, okay, but don't be surprised when those average to muscular types aren't that into you. Don't be surprised at that. And don't lash out. Don't lash out. You will. I know you will. I'm overweight, but not attracted to overweight guys. It makes me feel bad. Then get in shape. Do what Florence said and get off your lazy ass and work out. I can't expect someone else to watch their weight if I don't. Oh, well, there's a bit of honesty. I'm overweight, but not attracted to overweight guys. It makes me feel bad. I can't expect someone else to watch their weight if I don't. Well, this person sounds like they might actually be on the cusp of doing something about it. I hope they are. We won't read a whole bunch more of these. I'm plus size, and I am not attracted to really big guys. I've never been rude or mean. It's just not my thing. Everyone has a body they like to look at, and on an overweight man, it's not one of mine. And an overweight man is not one of mine. Okay, I mean, again, that's fine. And there are plenty of guys out there who do like big women, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just, it's a double standard. Are we surprised? No, absolutely not. Feminism, what women, double standards go hand in hand, like peas and carrots. All right, moving on. We're going to get into a little bit of just general news now. We're getting towards the end here, so we'll get into some just general news. Let's see. So this will be brief. Here's our military. Here's a picture of a U.S. Navy warship commander firing a rifle into the ocean. And I don't know if you know anything about firearms in Florence. You're in Texas, so you probably do. He's holding this, and the scope's on backwards. And the scope's on backwards. So, U.S. Navy, highlighting the amazing work of our U.S. Navy sailors. Why won't this go? From engaging and practicing gun shoots, conducting maintenance, testing fuel purity, and participating in sea and anchor details, the U.S. Navy is always ready to serve and protect. This is not instilling a great deal of confidence, I'll tell you that. And here's Zero Hedge. We're going to lose a major war. U.S. Navy deletes photo of ship commander shooting rifle with a backwards scope. The United States Space Force calling him out. Dear U.S. Navy, our space grunts know the proper direction to mount a scope. That's bad. That's really bad. Of course, they're getting trolled by everyone else. Everyone else. Now, the one thing about having your scope on backwards is your field of view is going to be very wide, much wider than if it were on correctly. So you'll be able to see it all. And it'll look really far away, so the enemy will actually look really small, so you might not be intimidated. So maybe this is a tactic I'm not aware of. Fuck. And then I saw a comment the other day where someone said that this might have been a corporal or just a sailor, or just one of the underlings who the commander asked for a rifle, and maybe they knew this particular commander was a dipshit, so they decided just to fuck with him and they put the scope on backwards because they knew this was going to happen. That's probably a decent chance of that. But it still doesn't excuse it. That commander should have taken one look at that and said, what the fuck is this crap? So yeah, we're going to lose a major war. Great. Boy, moving on. Next story. What's next? So maybe we wouldn't lose a major war if we had laws like this. Vietnamese real estate tycoon sentenced to death in a $12 billion fraud case. Yeah, Vietnam not fucking around with this. This is in the New York Times. Trong My Lan received the death penalty as Vietnam's Communist Party cracks down on corruption in the fast-growing Southeast Asian economic hub. Trong My Lan, a Vietnamese real estate tycoon, was sentenced to death on Thursday for her role in a financial fraud case in a major display of the ruling Communist Party's resolve to crack down on corruption. A court in Ho Chi Minh City sentenced Ms. Lan, who was arrested in 2022 and faced charges of bribing government officials, violating banking regulations, and embezzling more than $12 billion from one of Vietnam's largest banks. The trial for Ms. Lan, who was the chairwoman of the real estate developer Van Tin Phat group, whatever, was part of the government's campaign against corruption. The leader of Vietnam's Communist Party, Nguyen Phu Trong, has sought for years to stamp out corruption as the nation emerges as a major manufacturing hub and is one of Asia's fastest growing economies. So I just bring this up because this would never happen in the West. Maybe if we sentence some bankers to death, things would get cleaned up real quick. That's the only reason I really brought it up. I mean, Vietnam, you should probably get rid of communism, but throwing fraudulent bankers in jail and giving them the death penalty, that's something I can get behind. I support that 100%. Okay. And speaking of some economic woes, really brief economic news. So, I don't know if you've heard this, but Uber and Lyft are leaving Minneapolis because the Minneapolis City Council voted unanimously to increase the minimum wage that Uber and Lyft drivers were going to receive out of, equity and fairness. This is Fortune magazine. And this goes kind of hand in hand with God, I'm moving this thing. I'm going to have to figure out a better system here. But this kind of goes hand in hand with what California did, raising the minimum wage for all fast food workers to $20. And already there have been thousands of fast food workers in California laid off. And there have been thousands of people in Minneapolis who have said, why are you doing this? Uber and Lyft are going to leave. My job, the job that I enjoy doing, is going to be gone. And I just bring this up because I want to throw out what may sound like a conspiracy theory, but maybe it's not. I believe that if you line this up with the increased calls from politicians to have universal basic incomes, right? There's a lot of cities and even some states and just some governments around the United States right now calling for universal basic incomes. They want to give people like $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or something like that just to relieve some. They're talking about it here in Illinois to relieve some economic struggle, some economic pressure from people. And my answer is, how about you just don't tax me and I will decide what to do with my thousands of dollars, and I can inject that money back in the economy and the economy will improve because the government is incompetent and doesn't know what to do with my money other than steal it. So my little conspiracy theory is that part of the reason they are doing this is because they know, some of them, not all of them, some of them know this will cause a lot of people at the lower end of the economic spectrum to lose their job. And then these people will begin demanding that the government do something about it. And when they hear universal basic income, they will think, oh, I'll vote for the person who will give me a universal basic income because I lost my job because those damn capitalists, and now the government is taking care of me. So they will vote to keep that and put that in office, and they will vote to continue to give the government more and more power and more money and more of our resources and more authority of what to do with those resources. So it lines up, and it's exactly what a government would do. They would take advantage of the situation in such a manner. So just throwing that out there, that's probably one reason they're doing a lot of this stuff. I think of all of the jobs that were created last year, I think like something almost like 40%, or maybe it's something like 35 to 40% of all new jobs created are government jobs. They're not in the private sector. That's not a good thing. You're basically that's just giving the mafia control over our economy. And I got to tell you, it's not the good mafia, because I would trust La Cosa Nostra a lot more than I would trust any federal government. At least the traditional mafia, they don't go after women and children. I don't think. I'd like to think that. I don't know. It's probably not really as romantic as I make it out to be. But yeah, it's a mad, 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 mad world. So in other entertainment news, I found some music that I wanted to share with you. And Florence, I need you to pay attention. I need you to pay attention. Now, I know you might be working out. Just turn your volume up. I found this wonderful little ditty, this wonderful channel called Obscurest Vinyl, and it's music. And this is provided to YouTube by DistroKid, and this is the band The Sticky Sweethearts with their smash hit, I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again. Let's take a listen. Okay. All right. I don't think I don't know if they're going to copyright strike me on this. I have no idea how I found this. This was just a recommendation to me like 2 days ago. Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of these songs, man. Let's listen to a little more. I hope they don't copyright strike me. I would love to share their music with everyone. If you guys are seeing this, please, I just want to share your wonderful music. And I'm pretty sure it's AI. Oh my God. Oh, it's not working? The audio isn't going? You can't hear it? Shit. Hold on. Oh, okay. Damn it. Well, maybe I'm not going to get hit for it then. Let me see if I can. Maybe you can't hear it. Maybe you won't be able to hear it. Properties. Okay. Hold on. No. Okay. Maybe you can't. Maybe you won't be able to hear it. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear it. That's weird. Device default. Okay. All right. Well, here's a song called I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again. They have another song called It's Time to Take a Shit on the Company's Dime. I'd really like to get in your pants because I just shit in mine. That's great. This is Obscurest Vinyl. I don't know what's wrong with the volume then. I'll have to check that out. And you know what? We will revisit this topic. I guarantee it. Daydreaming about taking a huge dump, then getting up to piss on the dump to cut it in half. Okay. Well, we'll revisit this when I figure out We'll revisit this. What's next? We're going to wind up here pretty quick. Audio was working for the other one, the red song, which, hold on. This one? I don't know if I'm going to get hit. I really like to get in your pants because I just shit in mine. What the fuck? I just can't stop ruining all of these pants. I'm just shitting and shitting and shitting and I ain't ever quitting. Trying to get in your pants because I keep fucking shitting in mine. I'd really like to get in your pants because I keep fucking shitting in mine. They're all like this. They're all like this. It's the little things in life. It's the simple things. Oh, my God. we're gonna have to wrap up pretty quick. What maybe that was it. Maybe that was finishing on. Oh, so yeah, yeah, it wasn't this. Yeah, OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson died. That was the very first thing I opened with. So we'll close on that. We'll close on this video of OJ Simpson. Because he died. Rest in piss, you old dirty bastard. Died at the age of 76 from cancer. But this is what he'll be remembered for, right? Stuff like this. Hold on. He's a crazy motherfucker. Let's watch this. Damn it.
After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke, and this is it. After we
So, yeah. Spit on his grave. Orenthal James Simpson
finished filming, OJ
finally,
said to me that
finally burning in hell where he belongs. So, anyway, guys, that's going to be the show for today. I got to get to the 9 to 5 and everything. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. Good little show. I will be back Sunday morning for the Ugly Weekend Review. And then we'll do Wednesday morning, and we'll probably keep doing Friday morning. Sunday and Wednesday morning are definitely going to be the ones for sure. And then we've got the Civil War movie is out this weekend. I may go see that. And then the big one's right around the corner. Rebel Moon 2 is next Friday. I'm gearing up. I'm going to be working hard on that one. Boy, howdy, I can't freaking wait. Rebel Moon Part 2, Scargiver. God, what a mess. Anyway, see you, Florence. You have a wonderful weekend. See you Sunday morning if you're going to be around. But until then, everyone, take care. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And never stop telling stories, guys. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll see ya.